Happy to have all of you here. So we are Erasmus Mundus Student and Alumni Association. This will be our 17th General Assembly starting today. Our opening ceremony will be at 2 p.m. But before we start our opening ceremony, we have this outreach event. So what is this outreach and why is this outreach? That I will explain in this presentation. So I am Rajan Bhuya. I am the director for the Outreach and Capacity Building Unit of the Erasmus Mundus Student and Alumni Association. So we have several units and I am one of the director of one of the units. So yeah, I welcome all of you to this outreach event in Lisbon before the start of our General Assembly. It's really happy to have all of you here. We have among us different professors, AMGM coordinators, and also representative from the National Erasmus Plus office in Portugal. So, and also we have a AMGM coordinator who used to be the professor of our president. So it's nice also. So yeah, welcome to all. So who we are? We are a student and alumni association, but we are also a bit more different than a normal student and alumni association. We are registered as an NGO in Brussels. We are funded by the European Commission, but that does not mean that we are paid. We are unpaid volunteers. We run the association. It's these events that are funded by the European Commission, and we try to organize these kind of events. And yeah, here we are. So we are basically a student and alumni association for who? For people who have studied this Erasmus Mundus Masters and previously the Erasmus Mundus Doctorate programs. So in the beginning, both the Masters and the PhDs, they were together under Erasmus Mundus. But then the commission, they took the PhD part out and then made it Marie Curie PhD. So that used to be with the Erasmus Mundus banner, but now the PhD is out. Now Erasmus Mundus is only for joint master degrees. So, but people who did the doctorate when it was Erasmus Mundus are still part of our program. So that's why even though currently it is only joint master degree students, but people who also did their doctorates, they are still our members, and some of our management board members are also such doctorate alumni who did the special Erasmus Mundus doctorate. So yeah, some of the information you can see on the slide on the bottom right. So we are founded in 2006. We have multiple members in almost all countries in the world. I'm happy to say we are quite global in our presence. Yeah. So what is our mission? We are a student and alumni association, but we must have a vision. So our vision is to become a global network of distinguished, connected and active members of the greater Erasmus Mundus community. So we are the only community for the Erasmus Mundus students and alumni. And our mission is to foster academic excellence and also professional development, multicultural exchange for all our Erasmus Mundus students and alumni. We have some strategic goals that enables us to reach that vision and in the near term reach our mission. These are divided. We have brainstormed and made these 4 strategic goals, and these goals enable us to reach this mission and vision. So we of course want to develop a large network of our students and alumni, and then to provide them different benefits and relevant information, and we want to facilitate different connections and opportunities between the Erasmus Mundus community. Then we want to foster advancement and excellence of EMA members through professional development and career advancement opportunities. We often organize different webinars, seminars, so our students and alumni can get different skills, different information from successful alumni, for example, who have graduated, let's say 5 or 10 years ago. So this kind of information sessions are proving to be really helpful for our members. We also a bit more strategic, among the four, a bit more strategic is we of course want to develop EMA as a global authority of higher education in Europe. It's a very special type of higher education that is provided through the Erasmus Mundus joint master degree, unlike any other place in the world where people study in multiple countries within the master's program. So we of course want to have a authority on this, and because of our experience, we want to utilize our experience and share this very interesting type of master's degree around the globe. So of course, in connection to what I said, we spread awareness. It's one of the biggest thing that we do. We want to make sure that everybody is aware of this very special Erasmus Mundus joint master degree, and people apply and take the opportunity to come and study in different universities and have this global exposure where people move around and study in multiple places, gather this unique experience. We of course want to build a community, offer different opportunities and trainings. We support our members before they start their studies, during their studies, and of course after they have graduated from their Erasmus Mundus program. And of course we want to have a meaningful presence around the world through different projects and different events. So later our colleagues will showcase some of the successful projects we had recently and we are currently having. So that might be very interesting for you all. And within EMA, we have 4 pillars. So basically, if we consider this as a house that is supported by 4 pillars, of course, one is management board who runs the association. I am part of one of the management board members. Then we have the country representative who are basically a link between their home country and the association. So they are representing their home country in the association, and also the vice versa, representing their association in their home country. So if program representative, they're most of the time they're current students from the program that provide a link between the association and the Erasmus Mundus program. But also sometimes our program representatives are alumni who are in touch with their AMGM coordinators and their current students. Then we have different project leaders. People come up with ideas. They want to implement these ideas, and thus we have different projects. Who these projects will be showcased a bit more in detail by our colleagues later. So this picture that you see on the bottom is exactly this event last year. So it was the 16th General Assembly. We had it in Copenhagen. The weather in Copenhagen is not as nice as Lisbon, so we are happy that this one is in Lisbon. So yeah, it's very nice. And some of the, let's say, flagship events we have is the physical events in collaboration, European Union delegation all over the world. So what happens is when a lot of students from one country get this admission to this special master's program, the European Union delegation in their country, they invite the students, hey, you are going to Europe to study, let's say, first semester in France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, or wherever, come, we have this orientation program. So in those programs, our EMA members, EMA volunteers, they go and then give practical information. Because students, most of the time, they're coming first time to Europe and they have zero idea about why such a mobility, first semester here, second semester there, third semester somewhere else. So our alumni and students, they go to these events, they are invited by EUDs, they give practical information, okay, how you should operate, how you should move around, how you should find the apartment in your next semester, visa application, this and that. So this is how we start helping the incoming students. And then we have virtual events in a variety of languages. This is one step before the orientation program. So people first need to know that such a program exists, only then they will apply for such programs. So our alumni and students, they organize events locally to to tell their prospective applicants, people who are finishing their bachelor, or maybe they are finishing their master, who are thinking about a second master's in Europe. We approach these students and say, okay, this is how you apply, this is the things you should keep in mind to make a successful application. So thus we have a large pool of talents applying for different Erasmus Mundus Joint Master degree every year. And these are people who have not come to Europe. So people who are in Europe and already graduates and spread across the world. Every year we celebrate EU Day with EMA Day, the day when EMA was founded, in 100+ locations. So I am originally from Bangladesh. Now I am here, but imagine I'm back in my home country. So then there are other, let's say 100 people in my home country who are graduates of Erasmus Mundus. So we come together one day, we celebrate, we sit together, maybe have lunch, dinner, coffee, and then we discuss how we can spread this Erasmus Mundus in our country a bit more. And of course, a mega event is the General Assembly that we have every year. This year it is in Lisbon. So a very short recap of EMA in numbers. We have 10 management board units. Mine is one of them, one of these 10, outreach and capacity building. Then we have 73 CRs right now, so in different countries, and then we have the number is 82 peers, but I think the peer number has increased in the recent months, almost touching 100 now. In total, we have over 200 volunteers who are doing this unpaid volunteering to spread the word of Erasmus Mundus, to help the current students during any need, and trying to give back to the community, because most of these people in the association, they are motivated by the sheer reason is they got so much from the European Commission funded Erasmus Mundus Joint Master degree. They have benefited so much, thus they want to give back something to the community. So this is the core motivation of most of our volunteers. This is the reason they volunteer. And these volunteers are spread across 170+ countries. We are doing hundreds of promotional events every year. We are reaching a combined people, let's say 40,000+ beneficiaries through worldwide events. Our newsletter is quite popular. More than 10,000 people are subscribed. So every month we are sending out newsletter regarding what is going on in our association. So which also has a global impact. People are happy to see our activities. And then, we have many projects which our colleagues will explain a bit later also. We are also working with different higher education institutions. We are working with other NGOs in EMA, and on the right column you can see some social media numbers. Shows we have let's say a big enough footprint on the social media as well. These are our some of the successful ongoing or recently finished projects. They range, like let's say from climate to gender to outreach, everything. So it's quite diverse pool of projects that we have here. So let's say I am one volunteer, I have an idea, I reach out to 5 other volunteers, 5-6 of us come together, write this proposal, then submit our proposal to ESA. This is Erasmus student umbrella for all Erasmus Mundus and other associations. They fund these projects, so it's quite interesting. So recently one of the projects was very successful, is EMA cookbook. So people in our community, they are from different regions and different countries. They have variety of culinary backgrounds. So all of them, they had this idea, like let's put our best dishes that we can make easily during our studies. So yeah, that resulted in a cookbook with cuisines from different places around the world, and it's very easy, not very difficult to make. You can read the book and then get some idea, make your own dishes. Yeah, that's a fun project right there. And this is a recent project we had, Accept and Respect. So this was done last year, almost 1 year ago in Georgia. So this project was about promoting equality and non-discrimination among young people. So yeah, this was also a very successful project. We had different people from different nationality. We collected all of them and then had this project and this training and workshop done in Georgia. Our colleagues will explain a little bit later also. Then there was a very big project. We are collaborating with other universities. Also in Italy, one of the university we are collaborating with, it's integrating digital collaborative environment into joint programs. So yeah, after COVID, we can definitely see the strength of having online platform for education, where you can multiple people can come together without physically coming together due to this online platforms. Yeah, it was European funded project. It was for 2 years. It was finished recently, and then yeah, it was also a very successful project. You can look into the project a bit more detail on our website as well. Then we have of course student and alumni unit, which is a very active unit in our association. They are a link between our association and all the AMGM programs. So they are very active, and then they are doing also mentorship series, and they are doing different types of activity. You can see in the pie chart. So one of them is student support, for example, 24%. That means of all the activities these PRs are doing, 24% are related to student support, meaning some are having difficulty in finding accommodation. There are some difficulty for non-European students in applying for visa for the second or third semester. People who have gone through this journey already, who have some experience, they share this experience with the incoming student, the new students, which are very beneficial. So you don't have to start from scratch again. So you already know, okay, this is how you have to do this, that. It's something that an alumni is providing them with information. Yeah. So this is one I was mentioning before, pre-departure orientation around the world. So people are already becoming members of EMA even before setting foot in Europe, in their home country. So before they start their first semester, different European Union delegation, they organize these programs. These pictures are from 2 different places, Indonesia and Nepal. Every year they're getting large amount of students from these countries. Then we also have other universities. So we can see different local events in Bangladesh, Vietnam, Nigeria, and then also in US. So the European Union delegation in US, they also collaborates with the DGESE and DGEAC, and then promotes such master's program in US. Our alumni, they also go there and promote this program. And there are some other events all over the world, starting from Ghana to Indonesia, the ASEAN EU Exchange Summit in Thailand, in India. These are some of Facebook groups who are providing information to large pool of potential candidates in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and then not only in English, but we are also providing information in local languages, in Spanish, for example, in LATAM region, Latin American region, or Mexico. And then we are celebrating EMA Day every year around the world, for example, in Ecuador, in Philippines. And this might be very interesting for you. So now we have talked about what we do, about students, about incoming students, but what happens with all these people that graduate from our Erasmus Mundus Joint Master, right? Every year we conduct this graduate impact survey, and it's quite interesting. What happens to these people? What were their experience of studying in a degree mobility program? What happened to them after graduating? So in our survey, we have different questions, and then we take these questions and then make different charts and figures, try to figure out, okay, who is where, and what are the benefits. For example, the left picture, you can see we asked people did you develop any personal or intercultural development due to this degree mobility studies? So as you can see, different indicators on the left, which shows that a lot of people, they say, okay, they have grown on a personal level, and also they have developed intercultural awareness because of this degree mobility program. And also a very important thing is finding jobs or further study or PhD after their graduation. So we also take a look into how many people they are finding jobs or research opportunities after their graduation. And also one thing that we do is most of this Erasmus Mundus Joint Master degree is 4th semester, and on the last semester we have thesis or internships. So a lot of people, they go out to industry, to companies. Our alumni who are spread across different companies and different industries also try to come and offer internships for this 4th semester students. Not all of the AMGMs are 4th semesters. 4th semester means 120 ECTS, some are less, but internship is quite common in most of these AMGM programs. So we are also very happy that our community helps the 4th semester student in finding a proper interesting place for their internship and write a master thesis. Yeah, so that was us, Erasmus Mundus Student and Alumni Association, in a brief. But we have so much more to tell, but we are short of time. So of course we have our website, our social media, and also our newsletter. So those can provide you more up-to-date information or let's say more detailed information. So yeah, so thank you again for all of you for coming, and let us know how we can support you from our association. You can also contact our president at the email address shown, or also me, who were sending you guys emails and said, please come. So thanks for coming. You might hear more emails from my email address in the future also. So thank you very much, and yeah, I hope most of you will stay and attend our opening ceremony of the 17th EMA General Assembly. So thank you. So maybe I will request Manase now to talk about little bit about our projects, because some of the projects are very interesting, and I will ask our colleagues to present a little bit or talk about a little bit about our ongoing or past projects. So it will be presented by two of our colleagues, Manase, who was a management board member of the previous management board, and Prashant, who is a current management board member. Yeah, please.
Hello everyone, our guests and our G attendees who are already here. I see the enthusiastic people who are here supporting us in this endeavor, although the session starts at around 2 p.m. Of course, the lunch serves at 12, but people are here for this session, I assume, not only for lunch. So as Rajan explained you what we are doing, it's a small glimpse. One of the important tasks that we are expanding on in last couple of years is projects. As you all know, EU projects are the biggest thing. And we are an alumni association of masters and PhD students, and we would like to use this knowledge, this expertise in the field of higher education in contributing our voice. For now, we'll explain you about a couple of projects, the one main project being GoDigip, which was a project it was called digitization of implementation of, I always keep forgetting. Integrating digital, collaborative, joint programs, the keywords. Let's go there. I'm sorry. I'm bad at names. So it was basically a program in which the digital degrees, the digital learning was being implemented and trained by a consortium of 6 or 7 universities, where they were trying to help not just COVID, but how the digital world of education has impacted and what more tools can be used. So while the education direction was from the side of the universities, we as alumni and Student Alumni Association were giving the input what can be done from the student perspective, because student perspective also matters a lot. So the project was Erasmus Mundus K2 fund project, And the idea was to integrate digital collaborative environments into joint programs. It just finished. We attended the closing conference last 2 months ago in Brussels. And our task was to give the student voice and provide the content for workshops and training instruments from the student perspective. We were participating in the whole project to create the handbook and give our input and feedback in the handbook that was being created for the staff, for the educationalists, and for the professors. And also we created an amplifier platform where the students were coming in, writing their experience, their feedback as an article, and then some of these students were also invited to different events across the 2 years where they would come and tell the professors the knowledge and their perspective. These are some of the screenshots. Some of the students from this amplifier platform are actually present here. Anusha, Rashi, if I see. And screen is weird for me. Okay. And we had different events under this. This is one of the event picture where it was the board meeting, and this was another one from the closing conference in Brussels. Talking about numbers, we went as 3 times as speakers. We were part of the quality advisory board, and we organized one closing event, main event in Brussels. It was an event where more than 100 or 120 people came from all over Europe, from different universities, and EMA was responsible in organizing this closing event. Yeah, these are regular project numbers. So the project was a 200,000 euro project, and EMA's budget was around 30,000 euros. And recently we have decided to continue this project as a training activity instead of closing it at the project, because we want sustainability, we want a longer lifetime of the project. So we would be continuing to contribute as a running ongoing project. So this is about GoDigip. Apart from that, we have been working on various other projects. So you must be knowing about the Erasmus Mundus joint degree label projects from some universities who are working on it. So we again are participating in those projects as a student voice. So it's a new version of the Bologna Convention, where the joint degrees, joint masters have to be recognized in a different manner. So European Commission wants the universities to come up with a new protocol. So there are, I think, 5 or 6 consortiums who are working together. Every consortium has more than 25 to 30 universities, and EMA is part of at least 3 of them as a student voice, where we'll be providing our inputs. We are also part of EMDM. EMDM is the Erasmus Mundus degree label, degree design measures, where the European Commission has started funding a group of universities or a consortium of universities to design a EMJMD. It's a small project of 50-60,000 euros, which is initiated before an EMJMD is approved. So in this 1 year of design measures, the consortiums work together to design an EMJM application that will be approved or submitted in the next term. So we are also working on such projects, helping universities, helping the professors come up with the idea based on our feedbacks. For example, one of the recent masters that EMDM degree that we were participating was related to psychology, masters in psychology. So how we were contributing here? Because as you know, we have more than 150 to 160 EMJM programs all over Europe, and we have got alumni from all of these courses participating as volunteers, as members, or as members. So we went out to our network, we found the exact students who were having such background, whether in direct in psychological courses or in related courses with education, with mental health, or with medical degrees. We found the exact student who had a bachelor's plus master's in related field, and we selected that person as our student representative in this project. And then that will be a key input, because not only that person has experience of a joint degree, but also a subject expertise of how such degree should work. This is the degree label project that I was mentioning about, that we are part of. Manasi, you want to take over, or we don't have enough time?
Yeah, thank you, Prashant. So he gave a comprehensive overview of some of our key projects. So I'll just add a couple of other facts. One of them is the Accept and Respect project, which you saw. Here, EMA, Erasmus Mundus Association, was the coordinator of the project. This was a Youth Exchange Key Action 1 project, where EMA was the coordinator along with 5 other partner organizations from Croatia, Armenia, Georgia, and Greece. So basically we selected people from all these different countries and then brought them together for this youth exchange project to promote equality and non-discrimination. So in addition to this, we are also now going to do another youth worker or youth training related project. So, and then in some of the projects, EMA is a full partner. In some of the projects, EMA is an associate partner. In most cases, we contribute to the dissemination and exploitation work package because we have and integrating the student voices inside the project. So these are key contributions where EMA can contribute with the student perspective and also help in disseminating this information through the wider outreach which we have. So these are the two important points I would like to add, and we would be happy to explore potential possibilities and collaborations either in projects or strategic partnerships, etc. And we are now happy to answer if there are any questions. Thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to some potential collaborations. Thank you very much.
Do we have any questions?
Any questions from coordinators, professors, project managers?
Even our alumni and GA attendees can ask some questions, perhaps, or some ideas that you have.
Hello.
Anyone?
Hello, I'm the coordinator of the ARCHMA, the MGM from Evora. And one thing that it will be actually in the early years of Erasmus Mundus, starting from 2006, 2009, there were several projects trying to establish, funded by the European Commission, to establish, try to establish at least, an accreditation, centralized accreditation for master degrees, for joint master degrees. This has just stopped in a way. It reached a certain level, but they did not manage to create this body, of course, because we know how difficult it is to overcome administrative barriers and legal barriers legislation barriers between different universities. In the ARCHMAT case, we managed to accredit one degree, the same degree in 3 countries, Portugal, Italy, and Greece. But I was wondering if the Erasmus Mundus Association could actually contribute to continue to revive this business of the accreditation, because single accreditation body, and in order to put pressure, to lobby, let us say, the policymaker to actually reach that goal that was not reached, was explored but not reached.
Correct. So, can you go to the EdLab slide from GoDigip? Yeah. So that was called, I think if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Bologna Convention, which basically allowed the joint masters to be recognized. It was
you were saying that we are discussing again.
No, so that was already in place. It was not accepted by many universities, but it was the most commonly accepted convention that if the joint masters or joint degrees, including EMGMs, are following the protocols of Bologna Convention, then they are okay to be accepted. We had a lot of troubles at different point of time, especially in the early years of Erasmus Mundus, I think till 2014 or 16, till that many times students would go after the EMGM, go to a PhD degree, and they say, what is this? How can you have 2 degrees, 3 degrees together, 6 months each? This is not a recognized degree. And then we had to go back, get it approved from EC, help these students. So slowly this joint degrees is getting more and more popular, so officially there is not many problems, but outside Europe it is still. And that's why the EdLab slide, Virza? EdLab slide, it's after Go Digit. So that's why this is Erasmus Mundus degree label project that is being run by European Commission. So the European Commission has initiated this project of having a degree label, and they are still working. It's a 1-year project which got announced, or which got implemented 2 months ago, or started 2 months ago in around March. So here the idea is that all the joint degrees will be given a policy or given a protocol that they have to follow. But European Commission asked the universities to come up with an idea, what should be the protocol. They asked, and the application was made by few consortiums, and every consortium consists of few universities. Because as you know, there is these days the joint degree under the European University label or the International Digital University. For example, like the Charms University, which is a consortium of 5 or 6 universities, and they are giving a degree. So such consortiums are coming together and making this recognition of degree label. So they will be proposing to European Commission that what should be the idea, what should be the protocol, and we are participating in those projects as student voice, as our knowledge, as a knowledge base, as a student dissemination point of view. So the thing is, we are trying our best to be an active player, and that's what Rajan explained in our vision and mission, that we want to be an active player in the higher education scene of Europe, but we are slowly getting there, and this is, I think, we are one of our contribution that we will be working there.
Thank you. Also, thank you for this session. Following the previous note, I think one of the problems, we have a joint degree. However, to acquire a recognition by, in terms of the European level, it's difficult to do without the participation of the national accreditation agencies. The Portuguese accreditation agency does not agree with another body doing the accreditation instead of them. So what happened in our degree is that we have 3 accreditations by 3 different countries. And I think, you know, if you could work on making this easier, it will be, you know, very, very good help. Thank you.
That's a good input. Thank you. And I think that depends really on countries. So I have 2 Erasmus Mundus joint degrees. I'm probably one of the few people. My first Erasmus degree, I have got 3 copies, 3 degrees from 3 universities because the countries did not agree. It's not joint. Yeah, it's technically joint, but technically not. I have got 3 different diplomas. And in my present master, which I finished last year, somehow the universities agree, the countries agreed, I have a single degree. So it depends completely on the countries. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want dialogue, but we have a single diploma, but 3 different accreditations.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
So in the previous one, I had 3 different accreditations because every country has their own. You need to have this point added, some criteria added in the document also, not just in the process, but also in the document, how it should look like, who should sign, who should be the ministry or who should be the stamper. So yeah, I agree.
That's exactly what the point I was making,
Yeah.
is that we also have free accreditation. But it's always a matter of, you know, coordinators wanting to do this bloodbath of doing the free accreditation and putting. But it would be nice to revive renew the efforts to try to do it centralized. I know that the 3IS will say, well, to me they say, yeah, we agree. But then when you said, okay, let's do it, no. But there must be somebody, the policymakers should actually be bullied about this.
So
in order to, because this would help the joint. I mean, to do a joint now with free accreditation or 4 is really about a bloodbath.
So we had a meeting in Brussels last November with the European Commission, different teams of European Commission, from the team which handles the EMJMDs, like all the contact points that an EMJMD has. There is a different team for it. There is a different team who works in the promotion. There's a different team for ESEA. They were not sure about these things between themselves. We raised these topics. It's difficult.
It's something that
It's
is
very
difficult, yes.
Yeah. So we are working
Almost
slowly.
impossible, but you know.
I would try to be a little pessimistic, optimistic, and say that it is difficult and not impossible, and we are trying slowly, stepwise. It's working, and we can see that the digital joint masters these days is getting common. So that's a good output, at least.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the reasons we are having this outreach event, not to just have question answer, but also to exchange ideas, because this input is an important one, which we'll probably try to use when we go back to our project partners and tell that this is
You as a EMA could actually, could say it for us, for the students, I think the students want that.
Yes.
It's a bottom-up approach.
It's a bottom-up approach, yes.
So the students think that they have a better career opportunities after the master if they can present a joint degree. And of course,
degree, yeah.
anything that can actually speed up this system and not rely only on coordinators wasting their nights trying to do it.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to spend the
So we are
night
also
doing
now
this.
collaborating with the what is it called, the consortium of the coordinators? EMACT. EMACT. So now we are now also coordinating with them, and we are in touch with them about having some projects together. And this bottom-up approach can be student and coordinator-wise, but as an association together. So we are in touch with them. Our President Ashugur has gone there for a couple of sessions, meetings. So we are slowly working on these things. This is one of the definitely topic of discussion. Our two topics of discussion is, let me be very open about it, degree recognition and visa. So students need the visa issue also, and I have to be positive about this. Like now, most of the countries at least have a clause which says that the recommendation says that we recommend the host countries, program countries, to issue a visa which helps them transit their 2 years or masters completely. It's a recommendation. Some countries are doing it, some countries are not. So it is a positive that at least there is a recommendation. This recommendation 5 years ago was not there. And it has been because of all the fights, all the complaints that we have been making. Because if I am not wrong, except EMJMDs, which is their EMA students and alumni, other students do not have this big issue. Because either they go for 1 semester or 2 semesters, they don't have this kind of complicated mobility. I mean, it has been 15 or 25 years that these courses are there, and still I think every alumni who is sitting here would tell that when we go and tell you are doing this, and everyone says, you came from India, you came from Indonesia, what is your host university is there, you have Erasmus there, and then we have to go back and explain. I think everyone agrees, no, my host university is Belgium, my host university is Portugal, and we are doing a mobility within Europe. But the visa problems only we know. So that's one of the biggest issues we always fight about.
Okay, so thank you for your questions, and if there are further questions, we'll speak about it during the outreach lunch. Thank you very much. Bye.
I will request all the guests to have a group picture with the management board. I hope all the management board members are here. If not, can we quickly find them? After that, we can meet outside also for more discussions over coffee, over lunch. The lunch will be served from 12 to 2. I will repeat all the G attendees, please. Yeah, all the G attendees, your lunch is only till 1:45 because we have to be back in the room before 2. Okay? Thank you.
In case you want.